Do you want to make your live streams stand out with custom alerts? Today I'm here to show you exactly how to do that. And the best part is, it's completely free. So let's get into it. For this tutorial, you're just going to need two types of software, and they're completely free. So I will link them in the description so you can go down there and download them. Now, the first piece of software you're going to need is called Davinci Resolve. And now I use this for countless YouTube edits, TikTok edits, all that stuff. It's a really powerful program. But today we're going to be making the alerts in Davinci Resolve. Okay, awesome. So now that you got Davinci up and running, the next thing you're going to do is either start a new project or it should say Untitled Project. Either one works. Just click on it. Okay, awesome. So now that we're in the software, you're going to actually go to the Edit tab right on the bottom here. Go over to this box right here. Right-click it. New Fusion Composition. And we're going to be working in the Fusion tab on Davinci Resolve. And if you've never used Davinci before, the Fusion tab is incredibly powerful. There's a lot of stuff, cool stuff you can do in there. We're just going to, touch on a few things today. But if you get time sometime, definitely go in the Fusion tab and play around with some of those effects. They're amazing. Okay, so now this is up to you. How long do you want your alert to be? For me, personally, I'm going to do a 15-second alert. So I'm going to come up to the duration right here. And I'm going to get rid of the 5 and type in 15. Okay, so then you're just going to click on Create. And then you're going to go up to this same box we made the Fusion composition in and double click the Fusion composition. Okay, just like this. And you're going to get a screen that looks just like this. So what you're going to do, just for organization's sake, you're going to drag media out right here, over here, just so we have room to put all our stuff in there. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is we're going to create our alert box, kind of like just a rectangle. So what we're going to do is this button right here is kind of our, it's called a background tool. We're going to use it to make a rectangle. So we're going to drag this from there down there. Drag this to the media out so you can see what you're dealing with. And now we see there's a black box here. Let me move my cam. Okay, there we go. So now, as you see, there's a black box. So what we're going to do with this black box is we're actually going to transform it so that we can use it as an alert box for, our alerts. So here we go. So you're going to click on the background node in Fusion right here. Control space on your keyboard, and then it's going to pull up this menu here. What you're going to do is type in transform. Okay, just this one that says transform. Add that. So now it's going to add it onto your background. So what you're going to do next is you're going to make it smaller. Make it the size of an alert. So when it says zoom, you're going to zoom it down. See that? See that? And what you can also do is you can change the width, the height. You can make it look however you want it to look. So mine's going to look just like that. That's kind of like a normal alert box. So there we go. And obviously, if you want to change the color of this box, you go back to your background node. And right here where it says color, you're going to change that. So my brand colors are orange and white. So we're going to go with orange. So hit OK. And there you go. The box is now orange. Dope. Awesome. So we're going to go to the next step. Okay, so now you have your rectangle. Now the next thing we're going to do is actually add another transform node onto the transform we just made. So that transformed our rectangle into like a smaller rectangle. And this next one, control space, and it should already be popped up. Just hit add. This is going to control our movement. So this is how we're going to do our animation. So we can have a nice animated alert. So pretty much now it's really self-explanatory. You have this red thing in the middle of the screen, and that's going to actually control where your animation goes or where the rectangle is on the screen. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to like, see how there's a keyframe scrubber here? You're going to go to like, I don't know, in the beginning of your timeline, maybe like 0 to 20 right there. See that? And what you're going to do is you're going to drag this off screen. See that? You're just going to drag it off the screen here. Perfect. What you want to do now to make sure that Davinci remembers where you want to put it, you're going to make sure to click these keyframes here, right on top here. Boom, just like that. So now you've keyframed it off the screen. Then what you're going to do is you're actually going to go probably like, I don't know, if you want it to be a fast transition, which I want it to be, you're going to bring it to like 60, maybe 40 frames. And then what we're going to do is we're going to see this center thing here. We're going to bring it right back on. 1 second. You might have to let go of it a few times because sometimes it doesn't like to. There we go. So now it's in the center of the screen. Now it automatically keyframed this because it's different than our starting point, which is awesome. So now when we watch it back, it's this, right? Flies in, right? It's not perfect, but it flies in. Super dope. Okay, awesome. Now I have a kind of a long alert, 15 seconds. I just like to, keep my subs up there and stuff for a long time. But if you don't have to do it this long, it's the same exact process if you're doing a 5-second alert, a 10-second alert, all that stuff. So the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to have it fly out. So what we're going to do is go a little bit before the end of your timeline here. So maybe we'll go to like frame, I don't know. Let's just make it a little shorter. Let's go to 300, okay? So we're at frame 300. And what we're going to do is we are going to keyframe it here, just in the middle where we want it, keyframe it. And what you're going to do is come to like 340. Maybe we'll do 320, make it a little bit faster swoop out. Okay? And then you're going to actually drag this on the other side here. Let me get this here. 1 second. There we go. So you want it off the screen. See it like that. So now when you watch this back, it flies in, right? It stays there for a while. And then when you get to the end of the alert, it slides out. Pretty simple, pretty simple. Okay, awesome, guys. And I just want to say, good job. You just made your first animation, and it's super fun, and you can do a lot of crazy stuff in the future. But that's for another video, but good job on that. So the next thing we're going to do is actually make the animation smoother. And how we're going to do that is we're going to do smooth the keyframes. So now, as you watch it now, it's kind of rough. Like, watch it come in, right? Super rough. Doesn't look good, doesn't look professional, all that stuff. And then when it gets to the end, it zooms out, right? That was our animation we made earlier. So what you're actually going to do is you're going to hit this keyframe button right up here. Hit that, and you're going to get this menu right here. What you're going to do is select all the keyframes here. Oops. Right that, and hit S. What that's going to do is it's actually going to smooth out the keyframes and make it look super smooth. So I'll show you exactly what that does. So you can see, now it comes in a lot smoother. And then when it goes out, even smoother, right? So now that we have smooth keyframes, we can move on to the next step. Now that we have our animation done, we're kind of done with this fusion composition. So we're going to get into editing text. And thankfully, Davinci Resolve has really, really, really good presets for actually already animated text. And I'm going to show you exactly how to access that. And with the rectangle, you guys can do anything. This is just an example. Get creative with it. There's many shapes in Davinci you can just put in there. There's many things you can put in there. If you wanted to put a graphic that you already made into this, you could definitely do that. And it's really the same process. So let's get into making the text. Before we make the text, what you're going to want to do is come down to Edit, down here, drag your fusion composition onto the timeline. And now you can see it's here, right? It's here. So now you have your animation right there. And it slides out, just like that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually make a new fusion composition. So you can right click here, new fusion composition. Let's make it the same. So we did what, 15 seconds? So let's do the same exact thing, 15 seconds. Okay, create that. You're going to double click on the second fusion composition. And you notice that nothing's here. That's perfect. So drag your media out over here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to access one of Fusion's most powerful tools, the effects library. And not a lot of people know about this. It's super dope. You're going to come up here to effects library, click on it. Now you got all these pre-made effects, and they're all pre-made animations that you can just drag and drop in your projects. Super cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to templates right here. And we're actually going to scroll down to the titles. So this is all the animated text. Now you can use any animation here. I'm going to choose digital glitch, I think it was. Here it is, right here, digital glitch. So I'm going to drag that here, connect it to my media out. And once it loads, now you can see when I play it, see this? It glitches. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me move my camera. Okay. So when we play this effect, it glitches. See that? That's super, super cool. So if we want that to say new sub or new dono, right? So you're going to come up here to this edit tab here where you can edit your text. You're going to type new dono. And sometimes they have a sample right down here. And you're just going to want to get rid of that. You don't need that. So that's that easy. You just made that, right? Incredible. So now you play through. And there it is. It's glitching in just like that. Super, super cool. Super personalized. So we've typed in new dono, is that's what we wanted to say. So we hit the play, and look at that. It glitches in just like that. Awesome. So now we have the animated rectangle, and we also have the animated text. So now we just have to put them together, okay? So the next thing you're going to want to do is go back to your Edit tab right here. Let me move my camera once again. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to drag this fusion composition right here, the second one, down on your timeline, just like this, okay? Now, obviously, we don't want it to glitch before the rectangle's there, right? Because that just looks weird. I mean, if you want to do it, you can. Be creative with this, right? So what I'm going to do personally is I'm going to wait till the rectangle comes in right about there on the timeline. Then I'm going to put my glitch effect so it looks like this, right? Just like that. Maybe a little bit before, but look at that. New dono. Sick. Okay? But we need to make this smaller. Okay, because this is way too big for a donation. Like, you can't even fit the person's name there. So we're going to click on the second fusion composition. I already have it highlighted, see? You're going to come up here, which I got to move my cam. Sorry about that. So you're going to come right up here. And you see there's lots of settings up here. So one is zoom. So what you can do is you can just pull down the zoom. And it makes it smaller. Beautiful. And what you're going to do is also, if you want to reposition it, you have X and Y positions right here, so you can actually adjust. So if you go with the Y and just pull it up, you see that? New dono. That looks really, really good. So now if we watch that through, it's going to be a little glitchy because Davinci's doing a lot right now, but check this out. Comes in, right? Oh, it's so glitchy. Let me just scroll through this. See? New dono, and it's like glitching in there. Beautiful. Awesome. So if we watch that back, you can actually see now it's loaded a little bit. So check this out. Flies in. Look at that. New dono. Nice and animated. And as you see, this is too long, right? Like, this flies out way before that. So it's really simple. You could like go into the animation settings, but I like to do it like this. What you can do is you can just go where you want it to kind of disappear right as it's about to fly out. What you can do is you can go to the cut tab down here. What you're going to do is you're just going to cut this, split it, and get rid of this. So control delete. I'm sorry, function delete. My bad. So what you're going to do is you're going to come back to the edit tab. And now you can see flies in, glitches like that. Super cool, right? And then as it's about to fly out, you'll see the new dono disappears, right? No longer there. And this flies out, you know? So new dono disappears, this flies out. Perfect. That is a really clean alert. And like I said, you can add your own graphics into this. Just follow the same tutorials. But instead of that background node that we created earlier, I'll show you. Instead of this background node right here, see this? That is just going to be your media. So say you have a PNG from Photoshop or anything you're using, you'd put that there and then you transform that twice, just like we did the rectangle. So super, super easy, right? And now we've made a donation alert, which is super, super cool, right? And so now what we got to do, let me scroll back here. Now what we got to do is add, and this is completely optional, but we can add sound to this and make it even more sick, right? So I've already pre-selected these sounds since my channel is like ghost themed. So I have a cool couple sounds that I'm going to add in. So let me quick grab those. And I will actually put in the description a free website for free sound effects that you can use in your designs. You have to create a free account, but it takes like 2 seconds and they'll email you, you verify it, and then you get access to a bunch of free sound effects that you can now use in these kind of designs. So let me grab my sounds real quick. Okay, so now that I got my sounds downloaded, we're just gonna drag the sounds from my files right into Davinci Resolve. So I wanna use 2 sounds for this. We're going to use this one here, which is kind of like a scary sort of intro reverb sort of thing. So if we just place that right almost where we transition, as you see where the text comes in, I'll show you how this looks, right? So we watch this. Pretty sick, right? So I really, really like that. So now that we have our kind of like whoosh intro, I have another sound. And this is just a little bit extra. It's kind of, because the text is all glitchy, I want to add glitch effects when it glitches in, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to grab these audio right here, this audio, right? And I'm going to cut it up real quick because I don't want it all. we're gonna do, let's listen to it. Right there, this first little glitch here. And then what you're gonna do is if you wanted to split audio clips as well as video clips, you're just literally gonna go to the cut tab again, and you're just gonna cut this. So just split it. And if you wanted to get rid of the beginning, and then you can just scroll to where you want, like right there, cut it again, split it, delete, and controlled, or function delete, I'm sorry. So now you have this little video, this little audio clip, right? What you're gonna do is drag this right when the stuff's glitching, right there. So now what we got is this. Super clean, okay? Super, super clean. It's just that little glitch. Just adds so much. Ready? Perfect. So that is our alert. We made an alert in Davinci Resolve. Super, super sick. Now, we're going to export this. And we have to make sure we keep transparency when we export this. So definitely follow along and copy my settings. Now, the file is going to be huge. And the file is also going to not be ideal to go in OBS. That's why the second program that I recommend you guys download is called Shutter Encoder. I'm going to link that in the description as well. And what that's going to do is it's pretty much going to make it a WebM file. So it's just going to be a file that's really small, really light workload for OBS and all that stuff. So let's do that right now. So you're going to go to the Deliver tab and you're going to make sure everything looks fine. So we watch it one more time. That's exactly what we want. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to these settings right here on the side, on the Deliver tab, and we're going to do QuickTime. Perfect. You're going to make sure it's in GoPro Cineform. We got to keep the transparency, so it has to be in a certain file type. We're going to come down here, and when it says type, I'm going to go to RGB 16-bit. And you're just going to want to make sure you export the alpha. And also, you can change your frame rate to 30. But if you want 24, that's fine too. What you're going to do is you're going to hit add to render queue. And then you're going to name it. So we're going to name it Dono Alert. I'll just do YouTube, right? And so choose where to save that. And then save it. Perfect. Come over here and hit render all. Render it. Shouldn't take long. And it's going to render out the animation you just did. Okay, awesome. So when that's done, I'll come back at you guys. Okay, awesome. So we're all finished rendering that. So now we want to open the second program I recommended to get, and that's Shutter Encoder. So we're going to search for Shutter Encoder. There it is. So you're going to download, install, and then open Shutter Encoder, okay? So this program is super simple to use, and all it's going to do is just make your file easier on your system, which is what we want when we stream, right? So we're going to go to Browse here, where it says Choose Files. We're going to find it. So Dono Alert YouTube, you see this? That is the file we just exported from Davinci Resolve. Click on it, open. Now there's only a few settings. I'm sorry, one second. It's freaking out. Oh, here we go, here we go. So you see how the file's here? What we're going to do now is you're going to go to Choose Function. You're going to make sure it's VP9. Make sure it's VP9. You're going to get all these options over here. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Advanced Features. Make sure you enable the alpha channel. That's going to make sure it keeps transparency so that it's not black in the background, you know? So hit Enable Alpha. Come up here and hit Max Quality. And then you're just going to hit Start Function. And it's going to make a whole nother file. And it's going to say VP9 after it. So whatever you named it in Davinci, it's going to be in the same location on your computer, but it's going to have a VP9 at the end. And that is the file we're going to use in Stream Elements. So let's get into that. Okay, awesome. Once you're in Stream Elements, you're going to hit My Dashboard. And that's going to kind of bring you to all your YouTube stuff. Let's put me over here. And so you see Shutter Encoder says it's done. See that? It's kind of nice. It pops up on the screen when it's all finished. So what we're going to do is go to Streaming Tools, My Overlays, and we're actually going to make a new overlay. So click New Overlay. Make sure it's in 1080p. Hit Start. Here we go. The next thing you're going to do is hit Add Widget. Go to Alerts, Alert Box, and now you got this box here. The next thing you're going to do is, here, see where we see Subscriber Alert? There it is. And you see they already have a preloaded image. So if we emulate the subscriber event, There it is, right? So it's so plain. Ours is much cooler. So what we're going to do is hit change video. And the next thing you're going to do is hit upload. Oh, I'm in the way again. I'm sorry. Upload right here. And then you're going to choose your file. Choose the file that you just made in Shutter Encoder, the one it says VP9 at the end. So, as you can see, it's right here. Dono alert, YouTube VP9. There it is. Hit submit. Now comes the fun part. Trying to change the text, change the position of the text to just get it right. So for this, it's like trial and error. So emulate a subscriber, right? Sick. Comes in like that. So what you're going to do now, and we can turn these volumes down because it's a little loud. What you're going to do is go down to text settings right here. So the first thing we're going to do actually is we're going to change the size. It's way too big, right? So we'll go back to the text tab. Sorry about that. We're going to make it smaller because it's way too big. Now go back to the advanced tab, and this is where we can actually move the text up and down. So the more negative you go, the higher it goes. The more positive you go, the lower it goes. And then right and left and stuff like that. So now if we emulate the subscriber, it's almost there. So we're just going to put it up a little bit more. And you see, just like that. It looks perfect. That's where we want it, right? Next thing you can do is obviously change the color of the text and stuff like that. So now you see that it's all white. Perfect. Now, the last kind of tip I have for you guys is obviously you don't want the text that is made by Stream Elements to show up right away because your alert takes time to come in, right? So how to fix that is to actually go down here, go back to your settings on your subscriber alert right here. Go to your animation settings. Now here you get text appearance delay and text disappearance offset. So this is pretty much how many seconds it takes before it appears and disappears. So for your text appearance delay, let's just say 3 seconds, right? So now when we emulate a subscriber, look, it's not visible. Now it is. Perfect. That was perfect for this alert. So there it is. Our audio's in there. Everything's in there. It's literally perfect, right? It disappears right when it disappears, so it's perfect. We don't even have to change this. So that's pretty much it. And then all you do is just hit this right up here to copy this overlay. Just like this. Open OBS. And then just paste it right in, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. It's going to be OBSception for a second, but now if I post a browser source, see, right here, okay, kind of hard to see because it's like Inception right now, but when it says URL, you're going to paste that URL. Width is 1920 by 1080. You're going to hit OK. Once you've done that, then we can emulate it again. I'll show you this. Emulate, subscriber. There it is. There is your new alert. Super, super, super cool. And so that's pretty much how you do that. Really, really cool and super, super simple. The only thing is I want to tell you guys is when you are doing this, make sure that if you want to make like a tip alert, or if you're on Twitch, you want to do bits and stuff like that, all you got to do is come back to Davinci, right? Go back to that Fusion page, okay? Well, make sure you're on the second Fusion, okay? And this is kind of confusing, but your first Fusion was for the animation in and out, right? Your second one is for your text. So you're going to want to go into your text one, and right here, click on your text. You can change this from new dono to new tip, just like that. And then you do the same thing. You render it out on Davinci Resolve, and then you put it into Shutter Encoder, go on to Stream Elements, and put it in there. Just how I told you guys. It's perfect. So that's pretty much going to do it for the alert. Like I said, be creative. You can do anything with this thing, and there's so much possibility, and you literally are learning animation or motion graphics, which is super, super dope. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial on how to make custom alerts for your Twitch or YouTube live streams. It was a lot of fun to make, and I really love doing motion graphics and stuff like that. So if you guys want to see more tutorials, definitely let me know. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section, and I'm going to leave all the links to all the programs and all the websites I've used. And that's pretty much it. If you like the video, A sub is always appreciated. Till next time, guys. Peace out.